Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another lesson in mathematics. We are now in the fourth week of the fourth quarter. And for this morning, we're going to discuss word problems involving right triangles. So we are now going to apply our knowledge in the six basic trigonometric function in solving real life problems or its application to the real life, to the reality. Okay, let's start. Yeah. So for example 1, we have a tower is 15.24-meter high. At a certain distance away from the tower, an observer determines that the angle of elevation to the top of it is 41 degrees. How far is the observer from the base of the tower? Okay. So in solving real-life problems, we should look for its illustration. Okay. So for example, this is the tower. So based on the given problem, the tower is 15.24 meters high. Okay, so from the ground. And then it is also um, said in the problem that um, this is the observer's eye, or the eye of the observer, and the angle of elevation is 41 degrees. So this angle formed from the horizontal line of sight, to the top of the tower is 41 degrees. So this is 41 degrees. Next, let us represent this problem by using right triangles. So suppose this is the tower, which is 15.24 meters, and this is the angle of elevation from the eye of the observer to the top, which is 41 degrees, and we are looking for the distance from the base of the tower up to the observer. So we represent that as x. Okay. Since we have now the right triangles, we will go back to the basic functions or ratio that we might use in solving this problem. So we have the SOHCAHTOA. So for sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and then tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So, alin ba dyan sa tatlo yung pwede nating gamitin? Okay. So, we will look for the given. Ayan. So, since this is the angle of reference, then this side would be the opposite side. Okay. And this side will be the adjacent side. So based on the given, the only given is the opposite and the adjacent side. So we can't use this formula because we know the hypotenuse. We can't use this formula also because there's no given for the hypotenuse. So we will use the formula tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. Ayan. So we all know that the formula for tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. And based on the problem itself, the value of theta is 41 degrees. So we will just substitute it to the given formula. So tangent theta will become tangent 41 degrees, and the opposite side measures 15.24 meters. So ayan, 15.24 divided by the adjacent side, which is unknown. So we will represent it by x. And using your calculator, okay, there are two ways to find the value of tangent 41 degrees. The first one is using the calculator, and the second one is using the table of trigonometric, or the trigonometric table. Okay. Since we don't have the trigonometric table, we will use the calculator. Okay. So we will just click tangent, the tangent button here, tangent 41. So tangent 41 is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So we will just get the 4 numbers. Okay, the 4 decimal numbers. But make sure to round it off. Okay, so it is 0.86928. So we will round it up to 0.8693. So tangent 41 is 0.8693 equals 15.24 divided by x. Okay, so we will now use the cross multiplication process. So 0.8693 times x is equal to 0.8693x is equal to 15.24. So that is by cross multiplication. Okay. And to solve for x, we will just divide both sides of the equation by 0.8693. So 0.8693x divided by 0.8693, cancel out na yung 0.8693, matitira ay x. So dito sa kabila, magiging siyang 15.24 divided by 0.8693. So we simply divide both sides of the equation by 0.8693. So dito sa left side, na-cancel na siya, pero dito may iwan na siya. Okay, so what is the value of x now? So we will just divide 15.24 divided by 0.8693, and the answer is 17.53. Okay, you should also round off these numbers, so at least 2 decimal places. Okay, so the answer is 17.53. So for the conclusion, therefore, the distance between the observer to the base of the tower is 17.53 meters. Okay, so the value of x here is 17.53 meters. Or the distance of the observer to the base of the tower is 17.53 meters. Okay, so don't forget to write your conclusion in your answer with proper units. So that is for example number 1. Okay, for example number 2, we have an airplane is flying at a height of 4 kilometers above the ground. The distance along the ground from the airplane to the airport is 6 kilometers. What is the angle of depression from the airplane to the airport? Okay, so this is the illustration. As you have observed, this is the airplane flying, and the distance of it to the ground is 4 kilometers. And the distance along the ground from the airport to the airplane is 6 kilometers. But we are looking for the angle of depression. Okay. And this is the horizontal line of sight from the airplane. And this is the distance or the vertical distance from the airplane up to the airport. So we are looking for the angle of depression. Okay, so we will use this dimensions or lengths in solving this problem because we are looking for this triangle, but the given is here. Okay, so as you can see in the problem, if this is 4 kilometers above, and if there is this horizontal line, then we can conclude that this line is also 4 kilometers. Okay, so the airport up to that horizontal line of sight from the airplane is also 4 kilometers high. Okay, and since the distance of this base or ground up to the airport is 6 kilometers, then the distance from the airplane up to that point above the airport is also 6 kilometers. So this is also 6 kilometers. Okay, so we will have to use these dimensions to find the measure of or computing for this angle of depression. Now we will uh, illustrate this problem by using the right triangles. Okay. So if this is 6 kilometers, this is also 6 kilometers. So if this is 4 kilometers, then this is also 4 kilometers. So we have now here the right triangle. Ayan. So we have here the right triangle. And this is angle alpha. So this is a Greek character similar to theta. We have alpha, beta, and theta. So this time we will use the Greek character alpha to illustrate the angle of depression. Yeah. So this would be the angle of reference or the reference angle. Okay. So if this is the reference angle, this would be the opposite side. And this would be the adjacent side. So the hypotenuse has no given at all. Okay. So we will look for the trigonometric function that can be used in solving this problem. Okay, the first one is the sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so we can't use that because there's no value for the hypotenuse. Same with the cosine. There's no value for the hypotenuse. So we will use TOA. Our tangent theta or tangent alpha is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay, ayan. Tangent alpha is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay, and the length of the opposite side is the opposite side, 4 kilometers, so 4. And the length of the adjacent side is 6. So tangent alpha is equal to 4 over 6. And in lowest term, 4 over 6 is equal to 2 over 3. Okay, so we just write it in lowest form. Take note that we are looking for the angle alpha. We are not looking for tangent alpha. Okay, so to remove tangent here, we simply divide both sides of the equation by tangent. Okay, para alpha na lang yung matitira sa left side. Okay, so dividing it by tangent, cancel yung tangent, matitira alpha. Dito naman, 2 over 3 divide by tangent. Okay, take note, this is dividing both sides of the equation by tangent. Okay, so applying the laws of exponent, tangent, nandito siya sa denominator, ililipat natin siya sa numerator, but the exponent would be negative 1. Okay, so tangent alpha is equal, or alpha, angle alpha is equal to tangent negative 1 times 2/3. Okay. So this is now called the arctangent. Okay, ang tawag na dito ay arctangent. Tangent raised to negative 1. Okay. To easily compute this problem using your calculator, we will rewrite first the fraction in decimal form. So, pwede naman siyang hindi isulat sa decimal form. Pwede siyang fraction. Pero mas madali kung i-convert muna natin siya sa decimal. Okay, just copy alpha is equal to tangent raised to negative 1, or this is arctangent, times 2 over 3 is equal to 0.6667. Okay, 2 divided by 3 is 0.6667. Okay. Then, using your calculator, we can find arctangent 0.6667. Okay, so using your calculator, just click Shift, Tangent. Okay. Again, just click Shift, Tangent. Then 0.6667. And the answer is 33.69, 1389.72. So just round it off to at least two decimal places. Therefore, arctangent 0.667 is equal to 33.69 degrees. Okay. So for the conclusion, therefore, the airport has an angle of depression of 33.69 from the airplane. So the value of angle alpha is equal to 33.69 degrees.